Well, Thomas, this was for you, Thomas Pepper, and this is Dennis Graham, the lead singer of the Temptations. Now, Dennis Graham was known for his powerful voice and his soul sound. You know, he, everyone thought he would be a preacher like his father, coming from Fairfield, Alabama. And you've probably seen the Temptation story 1,000 times, so you saw how they came together, what happened, the whole nine. Now, let's move forward into what's been happening in the later transition of years since the movie and since the Temptations and Don't Look Any Further. Don't Look Any Further was the song that Biggie and Junior Mafia used. They took that beat and made the Junior Mafia Get Money remix. And Tupac decided to use that beat to strike back at them when he made Hit 'Em Up, one of the most disrespectful records in hip hop history. Dennis Graham was paid by the Biggie song, but he wasn't paid for the Tupac song. A lot of people don't know that. And he was, the company, and he got royalties off the song for using Don't Look Any Further. But he was more upset that it was used when Hit 'Em Up was used and that it led to this big beef that he knew nothing about. People kept telling him, and they're hearing his music and hearing Tupac going off on the record. He did not like that at all. And they said, well, it's kind of not your song. And he's like, well, yeah, he listens to it, and he was just disappointed because when people hear it, they think of him. The Don't Look Any Further. And if anybody listened to his song now, they're thinking of the Tupac Hit 'Em Up song. And he didn't like that at all. A lot of you didn't understand that, but he really was disheartened when he heard that, the Hit 'Em Up and how that went down. Now, the reason that he was not paid for the sample for Don't Look Any Further and why they weren't credited is because all the music that was played in the version that Tupac used was not a sample. I know, might sound shocking to you, but it was not a sample. It was all played with instruments, remade over. So all of it was not recorded the same off. You listen to the Get Money remix version, that was off the sample of the song that they did. Dennis Edward did. Don't Look Any Further. The Tupac version of it is a remake with all new sounds and equipment made to emulate that song. But it's not. So they didn't have to pay. But the damage was done. And that's what Dennis Edwards was saying. Like, the damage was done because every time someone hears that beat, they're going to think Tupac and Hit 'Em Up. So Don't Look Any Further to him, which was his biggest solo single ever, was tarnished. And that's what hurt his heart most about what had transpired. Had things transpired the way they were supposed to and handled in a professional manner the way it was supposed to, these things wouldn't have happened because he would have never greenlit any of that to transpire on his watch. Never would have allowed it. So now, with that being said and done, he goes through his career and he inspired Aretha and all these people. He gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. we go into the situation where he became bedridden and sick and ill near St. Louis, where he lived with his wife for 18 years. And people are talking about, the family members that he have. He has a child from his first marriage to one of the Pointer Sisters. They got the daughter Izza, who actually joined the group and started singing. And she took the name Pointer, and then take her father's last name for the group. Now, when this wife of his got married, they've been together 18 years. He became bedridden, and the state was doing an investigation, and they put out a claim saying that he was being abused at the household. I to see Illinois, Cook County really get this vested into the situation. It was kind of weird. He suffered a stroke and was moved near Chicago. After the stroke, he was moved near Chicago so that they can keep an eye on him. He can be near the best hospitals for his rehabilitation and the things to get him better and well. Then things start to develop. As they're doing this investigation, some people said she tried to suffocate him with a pillow. His wife took his earplugs out his ear so he couldn't hear. It was a lot of different things going on that they're still doing an open investigation. She says this is a lie, it's false. She's been with him 18 years. She loved her husband, but she was not allowed to even be around him in his last days of life, which is puzzling to her. And she thinks it's malicious and someone's out to get her. So, on that note, we have to sit here and figure out what it is that is going on as far as because it's still an open investigation. So they're lowered up and they're fighting, but when royalty money is in state publishing rights, we don't know what type of deeds are going on because I don't put nothing past anybody, man. Seriously, I think anybody's capable of anything. So when I hear like such and such is doing this, I put nothing past it. But yes, Dennis Edwards did not want his music really used in that manner of disrespectful rap music too. Rest in peace, Dennis Edwards. To your children and grandchildren, many blessings to your family. You lived a very full, restful life. You got grandkids, kids, and your generation of family and genes will spread through this world, and that'll be that. You duplicated yourself plenty of time over, and hopefully now you're at peace. And that's it, fellas. I'm out. But I did want to give you guys an R&B story that you guys probably didn't know. I'm out.